Hello, this is Nikhilesh from the PGP 2020 batch of IM Trichy, and my topic is labor reforms. On 28th September 2020, the Honorable President of India gave assent to the three labor codes, which are the Code on Social Security 2020, the Industrial Relations Code, and the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code of 2020, which subsumes the existing 29 central laws into three codes. Now, let's look at the highlight of these codes to understand the new reforms. First, the biggest highlight of the Social Security Code is that it has expanded the benefits of Social Security to unorganized workers, fixed term employees, interstate migrant workers, film industry workers, and gig workers. The second point is the definition of contract laborers now includes migrant laborers as well. And to ensure that they are covered by this law was brought in as well. The third point is the government will begin with the registration mechanism of all laborers to facilitate labor reforms and also help in uh, movement of laborers in order to help employers. Fourth point is the ESIC and the EPFO coverage has been increased. The central government may defer or reduce the employees or employers' contribution under the EPF and ESIC for a period of up to 3 months at a time for whole of India or part of during a pandemic, endemic, or a national disaster. The statutory concept of national floor wage has been introduced in order to reduce the regional disparity in minimum wages. Women shall be entitled in all establishments for all type of works under this code, and they can be employed with their consent before 6 a.m. and beyond 7 p.m. The government will set up career centers in which employer of any class of establishment shall report or cause to report about the vacancies in the establishment. The social security scheme has been extended to the gig workers and the unorganized workers as well. Now, with these changes, the government has successfully managed to reduce the total number of laws and make it more streamlined. Some of the social security benefits increase, extend inclusion of people into the welfare scheme, and bring on more emphasis on helping of skilling of workers, which is a very commendable step by the government. But the major issue with the law implementation is that most of the flexibility has been given to the employers, which, according to multiple trade unions and support groups for employees, say these are some of the regressive steps. The new laws have further eroded the limited protection which is currently available to the workers expanding. Now, the employers are unilaterally allowed to close down establishments and retrench on workers without even making an effort to provide adequate compensation or protection. The notice for strike period is set to 14 days with 60 days validity, and strikes have been barred during the tribunal hearing for 60 days, which makes it almost impossible for the employees to strike when they are being treated unfairly. Wide discretionary powers have been granted to the state and central government in order to circumvent the law and provide exceptions, which, in a sense, nullify the effects of the implementation of the law itself. One critical point in the law is with regards to women employment. Here, the law allows a free hand to the employers to not hire women within 6 weeks of delivery, miscarriage, or medical termination of pregnancy. The law also does not provide a judicial mechanism for addressing of disputes, which causes a lot of confusion amongst the workers when where they need to approach for their redressal mechanism. The increase in threshold of standing orders will curb down the labor rights of workers in small establishments having less than 300 workers, making it easy for employers to hire and fire at will. Considering all these points, it makes sense to look at some steps which might help in making these laws more effective. The first point is the provisions for strikes makes it an almost impossibility for unions to strike, and thus it should be adjusted such that the employees are not blindsided and have a fair chance to go on strike. The second point is the exceptional powers granted to the state and central government to circumvent the laws must be curtailed. Proper checks must be ensured that these decisions are taken and are vetted by an external committee to be scrutinized for. No judicial mechanism has been mentioned about how to deal with the various disputes that might crop up. A specific judicial dispute mechanism must be laid out to help reduce redressal time and confusion. The increase in the increase in threshold for standing orders should be rolled back to ensure that the rights of the laborers in small establishments are protected. The labor reform is a good step in the right direction to help India's haphazard labor reforms to be streamlined. With the correct implementation, this can be a huge boon for the economy, providing for most of the laborers and helping uplift workers, especially in the migrant and unskilled sectors. Thank you.